Ari Grzowski with the Ari Grzowski sales team. I've invited Bob Mowry from Susquehanna Bank here, and we're going to have a couple questions that he's going to answer regarding Susquehanna and the products they offer. Bob, I wanted to ask you, why partner with Susquehanna?
At Susquehanna Bank, we've got a lot of great programs, especially for projects like Ford Avenue. Our first-time home buyer program, the Susquehanna Home Start, could help home buyers buy in that project with no mortgage insurance and down payments as little as 3%. Our Susquehanna Home Start loan will allow first-time home buyers to purchase a house on Ford Avenue with less than $12,000 out of pocket.
Well, that's interesting. That's great. But Bob, what if they don't have $12,000?
Well, the Home Start program only requires that the new home buyer have 1% of the purchase price in the transaction. So if you're at $395,000, that's $3,950 out of their own pocket. It mirrors FHA in a lot of ways, with the exception of it's only a 3% down payment versus FHA's 3.5% down.
Okay. We
will let the seller pay 100% of the closing cost up to 6% of the sales price.
Wow.
And we'll allow for gifts, for down payment assistance, grants from the state of Maryland or city of Baltimore. It's got a lot of great features to it. One of the special things about our Home Start program is the fact that there's absolutely no mortgage insurance, no financed mortgage insurance, and no monthly mortgage insurance.
That's a huge savings.
About $300 a month on a $300,000 purchase.
I got to tell you, that's absolutely incredible.
For those who have a little larger down payment looking for a different type of loan, we also offer 80-10-10s, which is something that hasn't been around for a while. And an 80-10-10 is a first and second mortgage loan combination that enables a home buyer with 10% down to avoid paying that costly private mortgage insurance.
Bob, I understand there's other really interesting products that Susquehanna does offer, one of them being, of course, a product for the self-employed. Could you elaborate on that, please?
Absolutely. Over the past few years, most lenders have stepped away from self-employed borrowers. Self-employed borrowers typically don't show their income to the IRS. They have other deductions, and they try to save money like any normal American would. Well, Susquehanna Bank thinks outside of the box. We've stepped up with a special self-employed program that allows us to use alternative documentation to verify income.
That's pretty interesting. Can you give me an example of that?
Sure. Most recently, I was doing a loan for a self-employed borrower who didn't declare all of his income on his tax returns, or at least it didn't show. So what we did is we took his last 6 months' bank statements, and we added up the deposits, we divided it by 6, and we said, okay, this is what we're going to use to qualify. This is going to be your income for the loan purposes. And it made the deal.
That's absolutely incredible. I got to tell you, it really fills a void that no other bank I've heard of fills. Bob, another question. The condo market, it's really kind of dropped off, and I think the reason being is the lack of financing through traditional means. I understand Susquehanna is incredibly aggressive regarding condo financing. Can you elaborate a little more, please?
Oh, sure. Over the years, a lot of lenders have tightened up. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and FHA, they've all tightened their guidelines when it comes to condominium associations. And Susquehanna's done just the opposite. We've stepped up and we became the leader in condo financing. We're doing non-warrantable condos. So if it's a brand new condominium project where they haven't sold enough units yet to qualify for traditional financing, Susquehanna will do that loan.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, Bob, I've got a question for you. Let's take, first of all, non-warrantable. We could also consider that to be an investor ratio where you've got more investors than homeowners in a specific condominium. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, and let's be honest. Baltimore's Inner Harbor and surrounding communities are very popular among new homeowners, investors, and people looking to live closer to work. We don't discriminate at Susquehanna Bank, so we're not going to penalize condo associations for having a high investor concentration, or maybe some of the commercial aspects that home buyers would like. They'd like to have some restaurants or something like that on the first floor or level of their condo building, and most lenders won't finance those projects. Susquehanna will.
I think that's absolutely incredible. And just to add on to that, from what I understand, the Home Start first-time home buyer program does fit in that box. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Ari, it's a great program. 3% down payment. The seller can pay all of the closing costs up to 6% of the purchase price. Will allow for city grants, state grants to help offset the cost of down payments. Wow. It's a great program.
I could name 3 or 4 buildings that would fit into right now that you simply cannot get financing in. Bob, could you give me one example where there was a transaction where a bank all of a sudden couldn't do the deal maybe a few hours before closing?
I can give you several. Most recently, due to the BGD and Exelon Constellation merger, we had a gentleman who was relocating from another state. 2 hours before the closing, 2 hours, their stuff was in a moving truck. Their lender said, wait a minute, this house is sitting on a pier and this condominium project doesn't qualify for conventional type financing. And they wouldn't do the loan.
Wow.
The realtor reached out to Susquehanna Bank hearing about some of the programs that we offer, and 2 weeks later, we had that homeowner in their home.
My name is Ari Grzowski, and I'm here at Cannery Square, Stavro Community's very first venture into Baltimore City. Behind me are 10 beautiful new construction units that were constructed back in 2010. Each of these units and the way that it's situated is almost the mirror image of what we have offered now at Ford Avenue, located in Federal Hill. Stavro Communities builds an incredibly beautiful product. I invite you to my office anytime for a free consultation where we sit down and talk about the product. Each home, if you'll notice, actually has a slightly different color of brick. The reason we did that was to ensure that each home had its own separate specific identity and it didn't look like one big crazy looking building. These homes are extremely loaded. These homes come with granite in all the bathrooms in addition to the kitchen. These homes also have a granite wet bar. They're 3-bed, 3.5 bath. They do feature garage parking in addition to a garage parking pad. The kitchens inside these homes are what we consider to be a chef's gourmet kitchen. They share granite countertops throughout, 42-inch cabinets. We offer a maple, we offer a birch. Regarding the material of the cabinets, we offer a 3.25-inch wide thick hardwood floor. All of our bathrooms feature granite countertops in addition to either maple or birch cabinets. You have color selections of ceramic tile, you'll have color selections of hardwood flooring, color selections of cabinets, in addition to color selections of granite. So you'll have, in essence, the ability to customize your house. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to building you your dream home. Make sure you stop by and see Ford Avenue.
Bob, do you have any further words of advice for the first-time home buyer, which sometimes, they want to move, we move as fast as they do, they want to take their time, that's understandable. But do you have any specific words of advice for a first-time home buyer?
Absolutely. It couldn't be a better time to buy. Housing prices are at all-time lows. Interest rates in the low 3% on 30-year fixed. It's never been a better time to purchase.
I think that's great. Bob, is there any further comments you'd like to add?
All right, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to come in and sit down and sit through the interview with you. And I'd love the opportunity to talk to some of these first-time home buyers and show them how we can save them a lot of money and get them into their new home.
This is why RE/MAX, Stavro Communities are partnering with Susquehanna Bank on all of our Ford Avenue transactions. Bob, do you have any further comments you'd like to say?
All right, that Ford Avenue project is a beautiful project. I wouldn't mind living there myself.
Well, I got to tell you, I got a good realtor for you. Bob, take care and thank you again.
Thank you, Ari.
Hi, I'm Ari Grzowski, again here with Stavro Communities. If you'll notice behind me, this development is our second development that we completed. It's actually a 15-unit subdivision of townhomes called Fells Crossing, located in Fells Point. Again, this is very similar to the type of construction you would expect to see over at Ford Avenue in Federal Hill, where we actually have our available townhouses ready for sale today. Hi, and thank you again. Ari Grzowski here, and I'm actually at the site of the latest and newest Stavro community known as Harbor Square, Baltimore. Over here behind me is the actual site itself, where 10 townhomes will be built. You'll have 5 that will be facing this direction at Ford Avenue, and you've got 5 that'll be facing over on Burkhead Street, just to the north of me. Located here over in the heart of Federal Hill. In addition to that, these brand new homes will feature 3 beds, 3.5 baths, garage parking, a parking space behind the garage. On top, there will be a rooftop deck. We anticipate construction pretty much almost any day now, possibly even just a week from now. Each of these homes will feature a chef's gourmet kitchen. These kitchens will include granite countertops, 42-inch cabinets, in addition to a double bowl stainless steel sink. Flooring will be hardwood flooring or ceramic tile, whatever the buyer prefers. In addition to that, there will also be a complimentary island in each individual home. The living space will include all hardwood with a 2-piece crown molding, a 1-piece 6-inch shoe molding, shadow boxes, and chair rail to designate the dining area. The master suite in this house is incredibly unique. Each home will consist of a master luxury bath that'll consist of a dual granite vanity in addition to a large open jetted tub, and also to top it off with a 2-person seated jetted shower. The buyer will also have the ability to pick out their choice of ceramic tile in addition to a ceramic tile border to match and really make the bathroom over the top. The oversized master bedroom itself will also have 1-piece crown molding, 6-inch shoe molding, and the buyer will have the opportunity to pick cable and phone locations in addition to that. Each home will also have its own rooftop deck. Rooftop deck material will be made of a Trex material, which requires no maintenance at all. In addition to that, you're also going to have a gas line, you're going to have separate water and electric in case you want to do any gardening or possibly barbecuing on the rooftop deck. To sum it all up, these homes are absolutely loaded to the hilt with an incredible array of standard features. Please contact me directly, Ari Grozowski, with RE/MAX Sales to inquire about your personal and private consultation and visit to Harbor Square, Baltimore.